Hi everybody, welcome to the show, the Scott Show. We are here and we are live as we are mostly every single day. We weren't here on Saturday, we didn't have any podcasts that day, but we will have a schedule coming out of the shows that we are going to do, when we're going to do them. A lot of the shows will happen on Sunday, just because that's my most open day. And it is the 10-25-50 show. It is the Scriptures with Scott show. We got lots of cool stuff going on those days as well. So, that's what's going to happen from now on. But we are here to talk about WWE Clash of Champions. It happened yesterday from Charlotte, North Carolina, and the Spectrum Center. And here we go with our first match. So we're going to talk about the three-way match for the Cruiserweight Championship Triple Threat. Drew Gulak, Humberto Carrillo, and Lince Dorado. And what a great match that was. It ended up with Drew Gulak winning the match. But Humberto Carrillo looked really, really good in that match. So, big thumbs up to Humberto. He did really awesome. Drew Gulak, though, is the man. I think he's probably the best thing 205 Live's got. Now that I hear that they may cancel 205 Live, moving him over to NXT is a great thing, because then he can team up with Matt Riddle and some of the other guys over there to really do some amazing stuff. Drew Gulak knows his submissions. He's a good wrestler. Hell, just let him gain some weight and see where he goes with that. The next match, and both of these matches, the Cruiserweight Championship and the U.S. Championship, were on the pre-show. The pre-show number 2 match, AJ Styles against Cedric Alexander. Surprisingly, it was a lot of AJ, not a lot of Cedric in this match. AJ is phenomenal. What can you say? He is probably the best wrestler out there, even though PWI 500 doesn't agree with me, and we'll talk about that later. But AJ, I think, is one of the best. So, he is the United States champion and retains on the night. Then you have Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler against Rollins and Strowman. Interesting match. I thought it was a great tag team match for a while, for teams that normally don't team. On commentary, though, they talked about how Robert Roode kind of made his life as a tag team with Beer Money and with Team Canada. And Dolph did the same thing with the Spirit Squad. Yes, Dolph Ziggler was a member of the Spirit Squad. Probably want to forget that, but I don't, because I like the Spirit Squad. Rollins and Strowman, however, they were not tag team aficionados. Well, Rollins was on the Shield. Strowman, he had a title before with Nicholas. If you guys remember that, they defeated the Bar at WrestleMania. He had a 10-year-old kid with him. But in this night, the main event players, as we'll call them, for at least this night, Rollins and Strowman got defeated. Robert Roode hits the Glorious DDT on Rollins for the pin and the win. Now, this adds in two things. Number one, Ziggler and Roode are champions now. So they're going to have to defend the titles. They're going to have to, hopefully make the Raw division a little bit better. They might get drafted to SmackDown. Who knows what's going to happen with this upcoming draft. But the other thing is that Roode pinned the champion of the world, or the universe. He pinned the Universal Champion. So Robert Roode, by any stretch of the imagination, is number one contender now for Seth Rollins' belt. If he, or Braun Strowman, whoever wins the match. But he pinned the champion while the guy was champion. So, that to me makes Robert Roode number one contender. Alright, then we have number 4 in the matches, and the second one on the main show. It was for the SmackDown Women's Championship. It only went 3 minutes and 45 seconds. It was a good match. For what it was, Bayley defeated Charlotte Flair. the reason that Bayley defeated Charlotte Flair is Bayley was knocked out over on the corner, took the bottom corner thing out, pushed Charlotte into the exposed turnbuckle for the pin and the win. I thought it was a great turn back the clock a little bit to very old school stuff that Flair should have watched with her dad. So I think it was good, and it made the point. Bayley ran out of there. I think she had to go to the bathroom or something. I don't know what the hell was going on there. She ran out of there, and Bayley defeated Charlotte Flair in 3 minutes 45 seconds to retain the SmackDown Women's Championship. The Revival defeated the New Day. Now, here's the thing on that. The Revival and Randy Orton took out Xavier Woods. He had a severe knee issue. And then the Revival, as they are one of the best tag teams in the entire world, they put Woods in a leg submission. It was just awesome. So, I mean, it was totally worth it to check out. Great match with these four. These four could just... I'll watch them all day long. And I'm glad, because the New Day are amazing together. Big E is just a phenomenal athlete. Not to make AJ mad at me, but Big E is the man. He really, really is. And the Revival, they put together great wrestling matches. So these four are awesome. They revived the SmackDown Tag Team Championship a little bit and took away that kind of stink of where the SmackDown Tag Team Championships were, especially when they were on the Usos, because they're just not good. So the Revival revived the championships. I'm glad that they defeated the New Day, even though I absolutely love the New Day. I want to see a rematch. Put it in Hell in a Cell, put it wherever you can. But it was a great match, and go Revival. The first team ever, I believe, to win the Raw, SmackDown, and NXT championships. So congratulations to them in an era where they don't keep tag teams together too often. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross against Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. Fire and Desire against Nikki and Alexa. I just, every time I see Alexa, I just love that woman more and more all the time. She's so amazing as a performer, and I give her all the props in the world. Nikki Cross sells crazy like a champ. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, they wore... the Mandy Rose story about how beautiful she is compared to Nikki, she called Nikki a sewer rat on Raw. Nikki is an amazing, crazy character. I give her lots of props. And it ended up where Nikki pinned Mandy to keep the titles and win the match. And Alexa, she got hit so hard that either she was selling like a maniac or she's out of commission for a while. One of the two. Next match, Sami Zayn came out. Miz came out first. Sami Zayn came out next. He did a heel promo. It was a great promo, talking about the Undertaker and how he got beat up and everything else. Then talked about Nakamura. He kept the microphone for a little while, and I think that there was a problem because they cut the microphone, and then a few minutes later, the Miz took the microphone from Zayn and threw it. I think that would have made more sense if the microphone was still on and rolling and everything else. But Nakamura hit the Miz with the Kinshasa and wins the match. Sasha Banks defeats Becky Lynch by disqualification, and I talk about it early because Sasha Banks was really, they had a great match. Becky hit the official with the chair, and then after the chair shot, they went out to the crowd, and it was a crazy match altogether. But it was a disqualification, and I believe they are going to go to Hell in a Cell. Kofi Kingston and Randy Orton, kind of slow match. I was kind of surprised how the whole match happened, but Kofi defeated Randy Orton to retain and I'm glad to see that. I think that something will happen soon with that, and it will be good. Rowan and Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns had an amazing match with Rowan. Roman and Rowan, it's confusing, I know. But the Bludgeon Brothers are back as Luke Harper came out, helped Eric Rowan win the match, and defeat the big dog Roman Reigns. And in the last match, Seth Rollins defeated Braun Strowman after four stomps. It was and a pedigree, and then the Fiend came out and took out Seth Rollins to set up Hell in a Cell. As we will go forward to Hell in a Cell, folks. That has been the Clash of Champions review. Check out that Braun and Seth match. That was really great. And you guys have a great day here on thescottshow.com.